Hey guys, Rob here with McDojoLife. In today's McDojo news, we're going to talk about how a South Korean Taekwondo instructor was finally convicted after he killed a 5-year-old student during a class on camera. That footage is actually on this video. Let's check out the story. A South Korean Taekwondo instructor who fatally suffocated a 5-year-old boy on July 12th of last year by placing him upside down between mats was sentenced to 30 years in prison. The Ujeonbu District Court's Criminal Division 11 sentenced the instructor in his 30s to 30 years in prison on the 10th for charges including child abuse murder. The court also ordered him to complete 40 hours of child abuse treatment programs and restricted him from employment at child and adolescent-related institutions for 10 years. The court noted the defendant knowingly left the child unattended for about 27 minutes after the abuse, despite being aware the victim faced a significant risk of death. The court said he also abused other children over an extended period and treated the acts as if they were simply playful, casting serious doubt on whether he is being truthful. The court further noted that the instructor attempted to make another instructor commit perjury and tried to cover up the crime by deleting CCTV footage. He is making excuses by transferring responsibility to other instructors. And even when the victim child was unconscious, he came alone to the Taekwondo dojo and deleted closed-circuit television footage and coerced the instructor to provide false testimony, attempting to destroy evidence indicating poor character. The court also states the defendant claims there was no intent to cause death, but a reasonable person would have recognized that there was a risk of death. The court explained the reasons for the sentence, saying, quote, "The families of the victim child are suffering from unimaginable pain due to their guilt over not being able to protect the child, and are urging the court for severe punishment against the defendant at every hearing." They added the defendant's actions have caused anxiety among parents sending their children to Taekwondo dojos. Previously, the prosecution requested life imprisonment for the instructor during the closing arguments on the 20th of last month. The instructor's lawyer argued there is room for interpretation that differs from the charges when looking at the CCTV footage, and added there are parts that raise questions about whether he acted with intent to abuse. In his final statement, the instructor said, "I will not make excuses for my actions. I am sorry." But he was unable to avoid a long prison sentence that day. The mother of the victim child, who observed the sentencing, collapsed in tears immediately after the verdict and was helped out by the court by officials. The mother of the victim told reporters, quote, "It seems that our country's child laws are too weak, and this seems to be the maximum. Honestly, a punishment harsher than death is warranted, but it feels unacceptable." She also stated, "I will watch until the end, whether it's through the second trial or third trial." According to the investigation by authorities, the instructor was identified as having physically and emotionally abused a total of 26 members, including the victim, by placing them upside down on mats or pinching them or hitting them, totaling 124 incidents. Now, obviously, what I just read was just words, so before we unpack that, the CCTV footage has actually already been released to the public, and it's something I'm going to show now. If it's not something that you would like to see, it's probably time to change the channel now. Now let's unpack that. So the South Korean Taekwondo instructor killed a child, a 5-year-old child, in what he called a playful act by abusing him, and it was all caught on camera, and apparently all the other victims, all the other times that he abused other kids, was also caught on camera as well. After the child became unconscious, rather than trying to resuscitate this child, he tried to delete the closed camera footage in which you just got done seeing if you're still watching. Now, I've seen that footage, and I gotta tell you, it doesn't look very playful to me. It seems like he's abusing kids and he's getting his kicks off on it, and it's ridiculous. I do really feel for the mother here. Clearly, she was hoping for a life sentence, which I agree wholeheartedly. This isn't his first time. He's gonna get 30 years. He's 30 now. He'll be out when he's 60. So the rest of his life is pretty much over, but still, I agree, probably should have been a life sentence. This brings us to the question of the day, brought to you by Academy Safe. Please make sure that your martial arts studio is vetted. The only way to really do that is to ask the important questions. Are you background checked, CPR certified, concussion trained? Do you have cameras on site? Things like that. And if they're Academy Safe, that means they are guaranteed to have those things already on site. So be sure to check out Academy Safe and keep your academies safer. So the other day I posted a video of a child being kicked so hard by his capoeira instructor in Brazil that he landed on the back of his head and his neck. Keep in mind, this is extremely similar to the time the sambo instructor decided to do the same thing in a rampage fit, and that equaled the child dying. Luckily, in this case, a child didn't die. So the story I covered today about the Taekwondo instructor killing the 5-year-old. The story I talked to you about the capoeira instructor and the sambo instructor who killed the student are all because the instructor could not keep his cool and decided it was time to abuse a kid. So those two stories and the story I talked about today are very similar because the instructor lost their cool. The reason I bring up those two stories today about the capoeira instructor and sambo instructor is because the other day I just recently posted this capoeira instructor video. Now in that comment section, it was astonishing, like shocking, how many people thought it was okay for a grown man to kick a child so hard he lands on the back of his head and neck. And that is so similar to the sambo instructor who literally broke the child's neck doing the same thing. So because there were so many people in that comment section on Instagram the other day who were condoning child abuse, I have a question for you guys. Do you ever think that it's okay for a martial arts instructor to strike a child out of anger? I'm truly curious because I never thought in any of the time I've ever done this, that there'd be so many people condoning child abuse, including some martial arts instructors and coaches. So what do you think? Is it ever okay for a martial arts instructor to lose his cool and hit a kid? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment sections below. As always, thank you all for the likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, and memberships, especially memberships. You guys help keep this page going. I truly appreciate the hell out of you guys. Thank you all for the continued support. Keep the martial arts legit.
My baby got robbed the other day by degenerates. So she wanted to learn some new form of this self-defense. So she did her research and perused it online and found this dude said he could move shit with his mind. He call himself Seafood Ball Zimmerman. He got a dojo with a strip mall near Cinnabon. Now she spends all day trying to